Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. We finally have the Oculus Link Beta, and I have been super excited to check this out ever since Oculus Connect 6 when they announced it. I pretty much immediately made a video about how this very well could be an Oculus Rift S killer, an Oculus Rift killer, almost any headset killer that's dedicated to PC VR, because this essentially turns your Oculus Quest into the Nintendo Switch of virtual reality. You can plug it into your computer and play full quality, awesome PC tethered VR games, or when you're on the go, or you move rooms or whatever, unplug that cord and boom, you're golden. You're playing Beat Saber at your friend's house. And that's a really cool idea. Let's see how it shook out, at least in the beta. But before we get started, guys, we are doing a giveaway for a copy of the Darksiders 2 on Steam. All you gotta do is be subscribed. Check out our community tab for more details. But basically, if you love us, sub us, and if you like the video, throw us a like. Let me know what you guys think of the link down in the comments. So this was an eye-opening experience for me, the Oculus Link Beta, in that I guess I expected more out of the beta, which makes me a little concerned about the full launch. So let's talk about the requirements, the things that you need to get this up and running. Obviously, you need an Oculus Quest, no problems there. Next, it gets a little weirder. I'm gonna show a chart of what GPUs you need, and you'll notice it's pretty limited right now. In fact, there's only 6 GPUs that are currently supported, which is, and even one of those GPUs is the desktop class only, not the laptop version. So that right off the bat, makes me question things, right? This might not be the magic silver bullet. I really did assume, I didn't know that there was other stuff really going on in the background. I really did just assume that any GPU, so I believe the 970 is the minimum specification for desktop VR. I assumed any minimum spec GPU would just be able to do this, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. And what's a little bit more alarming is no AMD GPUs are currently supported, which is interesting and kind of crazy that absolutely no AMD cards are supported, which makes me a little concerned about when this does launch full-fledged, if AMD cards really suffer. And that'll be interesting to see as time goes on. But yeah, you need a pretty limited selection of GPUs. And on top of that, even more vague, you need a, quote, high-quality USB 3 Type A to USB-C cable. So the official product, the Oculus Link cable, is going to be USB Type-C to USB Type-C. That's launching supposedly this year for $80. We still don't have that cable, and the beta isn't even allowing you to do USB Type-C to Type-C, which I thought we would be able to do. I ordered the wrong cable, so that's why this video took a little longer to get to you guys. But it's weird because they have a cable that they recommend, it's an Anchor cable, and I'll put the video, or I'll post the cable that I used in the description. But these are just some, concerns, right, guys? This is just weird. Not every GPU is going to be able to do this. Right now, no AMD GPUs can do this, and the cables are weird, and hopefully all this kind of resolves itself by 1.0 for Oculus Link. But until then, how was the setup for the beta? It was a little janky, not impossible. I've done much weirder stuff with my Oculus Quest with sideloading and stuff. It was a little janky. You have to have your Oculus desktop app up to a certain version. You have to have the beta testing on your Oculus Quest app on your desktop set to off. And on your Oculus Quest, you have to say no, you have to be off of developer mode. You have to say no when you plug it into your computer and it asks if you would like to share files with the computer. And then you have to say yes to sharing the Oculus with Oculus Link and enabling that through your desktop. So that's a process. And a little bit on top of that, my desktop app personally was being a little weird, where even if I unplugged the Oculus Quest, it still thought it was connected. So I actually had to restart my PC a few times before I got the initial setup to work and run in admin mode. Fortunately, after my initial setup, I've had absolutely no problems. Everything kicks into gear relatively quickly. There was one hard crash, and based on the error message, I don't know, looks like it crashed the whole OS. I had to restart my Quest. But other than that, that's the setup process. So the initial setup, a little weird. The requirements to setting up, also a little weird. This whole thing feels very like unofficial, which is weird, but it is. And it is a beta, so we'll forgive it. But how is it? It blows me away, guys. I can't believe how good this is. I really am. So here's the thing. I assumed, 1, it's in beta. 2, it's been weird to set things up. 3, it's so limited in what's currently accepted. And 4, we're using the USB 3 to USB-C cable, and this is just a random one I bought on Amazon. So no, there's no quality control as far as like what's happening. And I couldn't break it, guys. I loved it. It played just as good as my Rift S. Let's talk quickly about what kind of performance you can expect. So on the one hand, the Oculus Quest runs at 8 Hz slower, at 72 Hz over the Oculus Rift S, so it's a little easier to drive games. On the other hand, the resolution on the Oculus Quest is actually a little higher, so it should balance out to be about the same PC requirements if you are running games on a Rift S, similar performance that you'll get on the Quest. And as far as the 72 Hz goes, I could notice it going from 90 Hz to 72, but I can't notice it going from 80 to 72 personally. I'm also used to playing a lot of Quest content, so this could be different for other people. I think if you're going from something like a Valve Index running at, 144 frames per second down to 72, that's halving your frame rate. Of course you're going to notice that, but I personally had no problem. Everything ran and performed great, with the one exception being No Man's Sky, but they just pushed an update out, and those tend to reflect poorly when they're fresh out, and I tested this the day the update came out. So I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't say that I wouldn't count No Man's Sky against how this performed. I tried all the games that you're seeing and had absolutely no issues, and man, do these games look really nice on this Oculus Quest screen when it's being backed by a full-blown computer. Yes, you do have a tether, and that is a bummer, but it's awesome that we're doing this with our Oculus Quest in the first place. So from a gameplay standpoint, I was blown away, and I can't wait for the final product. So this kind of asks the question, does this kill the Oculus Rift S for me? And the answer is a little complicated. In its current state, it could kill the, if this never progressed past here, if this beta was all we ever get with these GPUs and you got to buy your own cable, etc., I would say if you happen to have the computer with the GPU and everything, yeah, I think this could be a, quote, Oculus Rift S killer, with the one downside being you're kind of limited to whatever length or quality of tether that you buy. And at least currently, I noticed my battery goes down. It's definitely not charging. I can't tell if it's draining. I can't tell if it's draining the battery at a slow rate or not, but you are theoretically limited to an amount of time in VR before you'll have to charge the headset up again. For me, I don't ever stay in VR for more than 3 hours, so I wouldn't have a problem with this personally. But that is something to notice. Also, it is 8 Hz slower, but the trade-offs that you get for that is that you can literally take and unplug it from your PC and play tetherless for games that you want to play tetherless, or play games wherever, whenever, however you want, which is a huge restriction on the Rift S. And I will just, one little note, I mean, the Link is still, or the Quest is still much, much less comfortable than the Rift S. But for everyone else right now, I think there's still pretty compelling reason to buy the Rift S. I still think that headset needs to drop price given the advent of the Oculus Link when it does hit 1.0. But again, we're talking hypothetically. If this only stays as is, then yeah, if you want PC VR, then you should get the Oculus Rift S. If in this weird imaginary world you never plan on leaving the GPU sphere that you're in and Oculus never updates it. That being said, I am really looking forward to the launch of 1.0 for this product, because I think a combination of the cable, which promises to charge your Oculus Quest while playing. It's a very long cable. It's USB-C to C. It's more ergonomically designed than the USB Type-C cable that I personally have, and the cable is better. I think that is something to really look forward to. You get some added GPU support and you get the official cable. It's going to be really hard for the Oculus Rift S to contend without a pretty substantial price drop. But that's all for me, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I will catch you next time.